So we are going to be doing a few pulls for Anaxa today. I am still quite behind on the Honkai Star Rail story, so I haven't actually met him yet, but I gather that he is a professor, so I came to the best place that I have access to at the moment, the Penacony Paperfold University College. And if you're wondering what those weird noises are, I have Bubbles. Bubbles, the adorable new companion from the Seal Slammers event, hiding underneath my desk. Anyway, let's get ready to pull for him. Dr. Ratio is also very cool, of course, but we actually got one copy of him for free last year, I think, and I ended up pulling another copy of him as well because I really liked him. So I won't be pulling for Dr. Ratio today. Let me just check my pity. Okay. So, you might be wondering why I don't have any pulls saved up. It's because I'm at 66 pity with a guarantee. Castoris was on banner before Anaxa, and she didn't really vibe with me too much, but I figured I'd chuck a couple of pulls into her anyway to see if I got her early. I ended up losing my 50-50, unfortunately. And then, before I knew it, I was at 66 pity on her banner, and I had to tell myself to stop, because I wanted Anaxa. So, with these pulls, we are guaranteed an Anaxa, but it would be great to have his light cone, and of course more than one copy. So we are at 66. A 10 pull will take us to 76. And the soft pity, I think, is around 72. That's when the chance of seeing a 5-star increases. So I think we're gonna do one 10 pull, and then maybe some singles if we don't see him. But here we go. So this is 76. That is a glitchy ticket. And so we do have an Anaxa here somewhere. Maybe two, fingers crossed. This is 67, 68, 69, and 70, 71, 72, 73. We have a 4-star light cone for 74 and 75. Here he is. He looks so great. His kind of vibe and the fact that he is a scholar reminds me of I'll hate them from Genshin. But we'll take a look at all of his skills and things in a second. Let's just finish clicking through these. We have 76. Just one copy of Anaxa. I can't be too upset. Okay, cool. And why don't we take a look at his light cone and see what generates 10 energy. If the enemy target has a weakness implanted by the wearer, increases the wearer's damage dealt to it by 60%. When an enemy target gets attacked by the wearer decreases the target's defense by 12%, lasting for 2 turns. The same types of effects cannot stack. In the hidden experiment, various illusions constantly surged forward, pulling at his steps. The seductive whispers beckoned him to give up on that treacherous topic. For what reason was there to gamble his life? The cold, threatening voice declared that those who walk the edge of life and death will ultimately burn their lives away. Then there were the angry accusations shouting to cast the blasphemer, the one who had desecrated the gods, into an execution grounds most cruel. The performance of life, too, must eventually reach the curtain call. He closed his eyes, grasped the divine flame, and let the pain drown his fading soul. First his resolute gaze, then his beating heart. The complete soul, he threw himself willingly into that most pure and intense flame to be used for the smelting. The voices bubbled and then became silent. In the darkness, the brilliant truth began to take shape in his hands. That flavor text was a bit longer than I was expecting, but this looks like a perfect light cone for him, of course. It's tailored to him. I don't think I have a super great alternative, but before we pull for anything else, I think we'll read through his skills. We'll check his constellations, Eidolons in this game, and we'll see what other light cones I have. So, let's find him here. Here he is. I think he looks really cool. We'll just do a quick 360. Very nice. And he's got, well, just one sad puppy eye. Okay, let's take a look. We'll take a look at his skills first. So his technique. Prism of the pupil. After using technique, inflicts the terrified state on enemies in a set area. Whoa, very cool, but can you not interrupt me, please? That's fine. We'll read on this page instead, I think. Technique, where is that? Down here. After using technique, inflicts the terrified state on enemies in a set area. Terrified enemies will flee in a direction, away from Anaxa for 10 seconds. When allies enter battle via actively attacking a terrified enemy, it will always be considered as entering battle via attacking a weakness. After entering battle, Anaxa applies one weakness of the attacker's type to every target, lasting for 3 turns. So that's a really nice technique. That guarantees you start the battle fighting against a weakness that you're running. So that's cool. His basic attack is pretty straightforward. Pain, bruise, truth. Deals wind damage equal to 50% at the moment at level 1 of Anaxa's attack to one designated enemy. Nice. Let's take a look at his talent, called Tetrad Wisdom Reigns Thrice. Each on enemy targets inflicts one weakness of a random type to the targets, lasting for 3 turns, with priority to the weakness type that the target doesn't already possess. While Anaxa is on the field, inflicts the qualitative disclosure state on enemy targets that have at least 5 different types of weaknesses. Anaxa deals 18% increased damage to targets afflicted with the qualitative disclosure state. In addition, after using basic attack or skill on them, unleashes 1 additional instance of skill on the targets. This additional skill does not consume any skill points and cannot trigger this effect again. If the target has been defeated before the additional skill is used, it will be cast on 1 random enemy instead. So a very nice talent that allows him to be implanting loads and loads of different weaknesses on the enemy, and he gets a buff when they have enough weakness. Let's take a look at his skill. Fractal Exile's Fallacy deals wind damage equal to 35% of an Anaxa's attack to 1 designated enemy, and additionally deals 4 instances of damage. Each instance of damage deals wind damage equal to 35% of an Anaxa's attack to 1 random enemy, prioritizing bouncing to enemy targets that have not been hit by this instance of skill. When used for each attackable enemy on the field, this skill has its damage dealt increased by 20%. So that's an interesting one. We don't have too many bounce skills, I think, in the game at the moment. The only one that comes to mind at the moment is Welt, or Bailu with her healing, but it means that even though he does individual instances of damage, it does bounce to hit everyone, and gets increased damage if there's more people on the field, so still has some aspects of erudition characters who prefer AoE encounters. Let's take a look at his ultimate now. Sprouting Life Sculpts Earth inflicts the sublimation state on all enemies, then deals wind damage equal to 80% of an Anaxa's attack to all enemies. In the sublimation state, the targets will be simultaneously inflicted with physical, fire, ice, lightning, wind, quantum, and imaginary weaknesses, lasting until the start of the target's turn. If the targets do not have control res, they are unable to take action in the sublimation state. So another cool skill that kind of pseudo implants every single weakness at once, and also does some crowd control. So that's very cool. That's very cool. Let's take a look at his major traces. Here's one, which is the first one. It's this one. Roaming Signifier. When using basic attack, additionally regenerates 10 energy. At the start of the turn, if there are no enemy targets in the qualitative disclosure state, immediately regenerates 30 energy. And that's the state enemies get if they have 5 different types of weaknesses. We also have Imperative Hiatus. Based on the number of erudition characters in the team, one of the following effects will be triggered in the current battle. One character increases Anaxa's crit damage by a whopping 140%. At least 2 characters increases damage dealt by all allies by 50%. also some very good buffs. So he will always get a free 140% crit damage from this passive because he is erudition and counts towards this. But if you run him with a second erudition character, then all allies do 50% more damage. Wow. That's very nice. So you can run him as like a main DPS if you wanted to, or as a sub DPS with another erudition character. I'm looking at you, the Herta. He is a great sub DPS for her. And finally we have qualitative shift. For every one different weakness type an enemy target has, the damage that Anaxa deals to that target ignores 4% of their defense, up to a max of 7 weakness types that can be taken into account for this effect. They always like to leave a little bit of maths for you to do. So if we do 4 times 7, that's 28% defense penetration there for Anaxa if they have all weakness types, so that's cool. And then for the minor ones we have some HP, crit rate, which is very nice, and wind damage. Okay, so that looks very good. I did do some pre-farming for him, so let's go ahead and get him leveled up as far as we can go.
This kind of power.
I think. Oh, this is new. Ethereal Omen. I didn't farm this. I don't think it was available at the time. Let me see if I can just pick some up with this. What's the next level? I'm not sure. We'll find out.
Try subduing this kind of
I farmed the other stuff. Echoing Whale. We'll synthesize that up. I think that's new as well. I don't remember having the automatic conversion like this.
kind of power.
So that's nice. We'll keep going though, We should have enough for another couple levels, I think. And yeah, I'll use these universal bits as well. Being a DPS, we want him to have as many stats as possible. Then I get a couple free standard pulls. Okay, cool. And let's see how far we can go with his traces.
Intellectual pursuit is doomed to be a long and lonely
Intellectual pursuit is doomed to be a long and lonely road.
Intellectual pursuit is doomed to be a long and lonely road.
So we'll be picking up the main traces, of course. And I think I'm gonna have to do some farming for this. These Eternal Lament items. But let's see what relics we have for him. I also pre-farmed a couple of relics. Let's see where they are. I think they should be okay, but there's room for improvement. So we'll put this on. I put them all on Danang, so I remembered where they were. We'll do that one there. In terms of substats, because he gets so much free crit damage, it's not as high on the priority list as crit rate. We want to try and get as much crit rate as possible with a bit of crit damage, but we don't need to go so hard on that. I think then I picked Rutilant Arena. Here. increases wind damage by 10%, and after the wearer uses their ultimate, their action is advanced forward by 25%, which is nice. And Rutilant Arena for the planar ornaments increases the wearer's crit rate by 8% when the wearer's crit rate reaches 70% or higher. Damage dealt by basic attack and skill increases by 20%. So that should be perfect for him. A bit of crit rate, and I'm pretty sure most of his damage comes from his skill, which triggers a load of times from his talent. So we should be getting a nice boost there. It does mean that we need to reach 70% crit rate, though. We are at 73.5%. We're at 73.5%, and there's some more to get from here. We have 5.3, 4%, and 2.7, so like another 12-ish. So we should be up to 85% crit rate, which is nice. I think I would like some more crit damage still, though. But let's see what light cones we have right now. So these three are my 5-star ones. I have Argenti's one, which is very much ultimate based. It does give us some nice crit damage, but I don't know that we'll get too much benefit from the rest of the light cone, which increases ultimate damage based on their max energy. I have Before Dawn, which is Jing Yuan's light cone. Again, another nice crit damage increase, and it does give us a nice boost on our skill damage, specifically 18%. And we have the After the Wearer uses follow attack. A follow-up attack. Let me just quickly check, because I don't know if his talent counts as a follow-up attack. It doesn't say it does, so I think we need to assume that it doesn't count as a follow-up attack. So again, we would get some nice benefits from Before Dawn, but we wouldn't be able to use all of the bonuses, and it's quite good on the Herta. Jade is on Night on the Milky Way, which is a standard banner one. It's Himiko's one. It gives us some extra attack, and when an enemy is inflicted with weakness break, the damage dealt by the wearer increases by 30% for one turn. This could be a good option because we'll be getting a load of weakness breaks because of all of the weakness implanting. Otherwise, we just have some 4 stars that could be good. That could be good. Some extra attack, crit damage there. Yeah. So I think we have some usable options. But it would be nice to get his signature light cone. Why don't we check his Eidolons first, though? So his first one is Magician, Isolated by Stars. After using skill for the first time, recovers 1 skill point. When using skill to hit enemy targets, decreases the target's defense by 16%, lasting for 2 turns. So that's not bad. Next one is Soul, True to History, which says, when enemy targets enter the battlefield, triggers 1 instance of the talent's weakness implant effect, and reduces their all-type resistance by 20%. Oh, that is a very nice one, but E2 is always difficult to get. So I'm not sure we'll go for that one. It would be nice though. Third one is Pupil, Etched into Cosmos, and it increases ultimate and basic attack levels. The 4th Eidolon is Blaze, Plunged to Canyon. When using skill, increases attack by 30%, lasting for 2 turns. This effect can stack up to 2 times. The 5th one is Embryo set to Beyond Vortex. This increases skill and talent levels. And finally, we have Everything is in Everything. The damage dealt by Anaxa is 130% of the original damage. The effects in the Trace Imperative hiatus will be triggered directly and will no longer depend on the number of erudition characters in the team. Okay, so kind of crazy, I guess. It's a personal damage boost, and it also means that you don't need to run him with another erudition character. But E6 is for the really dedicated people. Okay, so I'm pretty sure that I would really like to get his light cone if at all possible. So let me quickly check where I am on the pity, so we know what to expect. Okay, bad news. Bad news. I am at 4. I'm at 4 pity and no guarantee. Even though for light cones you have a 75% chance to get them if you don't have the guarantee. So it's not looking good. It'll be fine either way. I am gonna drop my pulls though. I think we'll get like 20, 20-ish. So we're at 4. This will be 14. Nothing here. So just a 4-star. We get a 4-star light cone. This is 20, 24. Okay, we got a 5-star light cone. It's got a 75% chance to be an Anaxa's. I really hope it is. So this is 15. No way. We got time waits for no one. Well, historically I've been kind of unlucky with the light cone, 75%. So this is disappointing to see, but we'll keep going. We're in 1, 2, 3, oh, couple 4-stars. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, at least we got this 5-star nice and early, so we didn't go all the way to pity and then lose. So we're at 8 now, and I think I should be able to convert a bunch. We have 6, oh, okay, I'm gonna have to clear those up. Okay, we are at 8, so this is 9. Pretty lucky with the 4-stars at least. This is 10, 11. Wow, that's insane. So many 4-stars. I just wish I could like convert the luck to a 5-star instead. I think that was 11. 12. 13. 14. We'll do the rest. 15, and 16. Oh well, we managed to get that far. We're scraping the bottom of the barrel with a 17 here. Nope, no luck. Well, at the very least, was it a good light cone that we got? Oh, I already have one. I think it looks pretty good, at least. Okay, so that was disappointing, unfortunately. It does mean that we're gonna have to decide on which other light cone to put on him for now. looks pretty good. Jade's one looks pretty good for him. So why don't we, yeah, we'll do that one. We'll do that one for now. I think while Anaxa's still on banner, I'm probably going to be chucking a bunch of balls into his light gun still. So we'll see if that shows up. Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. For now though, why don't we get him into a team and see if we can showcase some of his animations. Okay, now we'll go. Just wanted to wait for him to finish with that gun. Okay. I'll find someone to fight and get him into a team. I'll be right back. Okay. So here we are in the Benigoni Grand Theatre, which is a great place to show off any character. And I've stuck Anaxa into a team quickly. We'll take a quick look at some of his animations and we'll jump into a fight, keeping in mind that most of his talents aren't leveled up yet. So he might not do a great amount of damage, but I'll be working on that. First of all, we have a very, very cool, galaxy effect on his chest there that changes a bit as you move. That looks very cool. We'll take a look at his basic attack. We get a ranged shot from his gun here. And he does a cool twirl as well. Let's take a look at his technique.
Watch this magic trick.
Wow. So that looked cool, and of course we will be wanting to do that in range of an enemy. So why don't we go over and do it to this Dream Jolt troop member.
Watch this magic trick.
They are now terrified and we can attack them to start battle and get a bonus. Okay, so just in terms of the team here, I've gone for Anaxa being the hyper carry here. Of course, he works really well as a sub DPS for someone like the Herta. But this is an Anaxa showcase, so I thought I'd put him in the limelight. I've put him together with Jade for the second Erudition character. I've got Luocha as the healer, who I really like. And although Sunday has been a staple in most of my teams recently, I'm not sure he'll be too good here, because Anaxa, I haven't speed tuned him to work very well with Sunday just yet. He is slower than Sunday at the moment, so some more speed might be nice on him. And also being on the 4-piece set that boosts him after using his ult. It does funny things to the turn order, so it might mess things up. I think I might aim to get him speed tuned to work with Sunday, because Sunday's just all around great. But for now I've just got the Remembrance Trailblazer here. We'll go ahead and summon Mem, who also gives a crit damage boost. And we're gonna check Anaxa's crit damage, which should be pretty high. Oh, what's that? He's only got 120. Oh, okay. I see what's going on. Right, I have misunderstood the trace. The two bonuses, we can't see it on this screen, but the two bonuses for 1 erudition character, and 2 erudition characters are exclusive. So if you have 2 erudition characters, you get the 50% damage increase, but you don't get the crit damage. And if you have 1 erudition character, you do get the crit damage. So I guess that makes sense. It's a trade-off between having some extra personal damage on Anaxa if you run him as a hyper carry with maybe no erudition characters, or have him be giving an extra buff if he's a sub DPS. Okay, that makes sense then. We'll keep going for now, but it does change up the team building, but I think that's fine. So we're gonna have to wait for an Anaxa to get a go. He's pretty slow at the moment. And here he is, and here he is. So that's him ready to use his basic attack. And here he is ready to use his skill, which we're gonna chuck on these guys. So that looked cool. It was a nice bounce. It was a nice bounce. And we're gonna boost him back up with Mem.
As you can see, I'm just a frail skull.
To use a second skill. So both of these 2 enemies with the stars above their heads have the qualitative disclosure state. So we should get a bunch of skills here. I wonder whether it will trigger once or twice if it hits both of them. We'll see. I'm gonna shoot this guy. So we'll get another one here. Okay, okay. So that was a nice amount of damage, but it didn't trigger twice, which is fine. And we're gonna have to jump into another fight just to see Anaxa's ult. So I'm gonna run around. We'll get this dog over here. Get him as he's running away, and I think we'll just start up with his ult. May as well get the buffs on, I guess. Just do this. We'll just do this.
Allow me to see you off.
And Anaxa's taking hits.
Thank you.
But we'll
give you what you need.
We'll pop his ult here.
The show has begun.
So here he is ready to use his ult, and we're gonna...
With this divine power, I extract the world's purity to reforge all things.
Now that looked really, really cool. That looked so good. We'll finish off. We'll finish off with a couple of skill bounces here. And they do have like all of their weaknesses as well. That's funny. We'll boost them back up, but oh, this is pretty lucky actually. I realized I haven't used his basic attack in a fight. Standard but cool. Standard but cool. Okay, so I am very pleased with Anaxa. I think he's super cool. And he seems pretty strong as well, if I built his teams properly. I think I'm going to do some farming to get all of his traces up. And the Pure Fiction just reset as well a couple of days ago, and I've been leaving that ready to use Anaxa. So I think we'll give that a go as well after I've done some farming. So I will see you in a bit. I will see you in a bit. Okay. Hello again. I am back. And I've been doing some work. missing a couple in the basic attack, and we'll do that actually. Sure, why not? We'll use our universal materials, so scratch that. I have fully traced up my Anaxa and put him into I think a bit of a better team for a hyper carry. I think putting him in with Ronmei, who I have also leveled up. The relics I had on her from, I think it was the last Memory of Chaos video, so she now almost has 180% break effect, and she's a bit quicker as well. And I was also pretty sad still that he wasn't going to work too great with my Sunday as he is at the moment, and so I decided to level up my Bronya, who I've had sitting kind of unloved for a while. But with all my failed 50/50s, I do have her at E2, which is a nice Eidolon level, and I also have 3 copies of her signature light cone, which will boost whoever I use her skill on to do 40% more damage. So I figured we could try her out, see how she works. Hopefully I'm gonna get a chance to use them in Pure Fiction, this kind of team. But that's what we're gonna do now. We're gonna head on over to the recently reset Pure Fiction, where I hope Anaxa will be able to shine. I know that he doesn't do incredible AoE damage compared to some of the other Erudition characters, like the Herta, but I really want to try using him as a hyper carry, especially because I have Jade to work with the Herta. I think Anaxa might be a bit better than Jade, but I'm gonna have 2 pretty good teams, I think. So we'll jump in here. The crit mechanics this time round are after allies use skill to attack enemy targets, every enemy target hit additionally accumulates 5 crit value for all allies. Perfect. So we can jump straight into stage number 3, and let's see what we've got here. So the second team, the second half seems pretty perfect for the Herta and Jade, and we'll use Sunday, and we probably won't need that much healing, so I'm gonna bring Fu Xuan in as well. She has a bit of a crit rate buff that the Herta will appreciate. And also, before I forget, I need to make sure Jade has a good light cone, because I switched her one onto Anaxa. Honestly, this one's pretty good though. Increases damage dealt by follow-up attacks, so that's okay. We've seen my Herta, Jade, Sunday loads of times already, but my Fu Xuan is someone who I like to use sometimes, but I don't use her too often. So I've got her at 8,286 HP, which is important because she'll be taking a lot of the damage for the team. She's only got 129 speed though. And for relics, I have a bit of a mixed set. We have Lushaka, the Sunken Seas, which gives us some energy regen and boosts the attack of the first character in the lineup. And then just a split set, I'm pretty sure focusing on HP and defense as much as possible. We get some break effect and defense from that. She's at E0, and I have her on Landau's Choice. It just gives a really nice amount of HP and reduces damage by 24%, as well as having some extra aggro there. So I think she'll work pretty well here. Let's see what buffs we can pick. Empty Air is 1 during Surging Grit, and all ally skills do not consume skill points. After characters use skills or ultimate, they gain 1 stack of Feverish Surge for every enemy target hit. These stacks will increase said character's skill and ultimate damage by 4% and speed by 4%, to a max of 10 stacks. That one looks pretty good. Let's check the other one. Hierophany, I think. During Surging Grit, when any ally uses their skill, consumes HP equal to 20% of their max HP. Then, after using skill, restores HP equal to 20% of their max HP. That sounds like it will be geared towards Castris, who I don't have. And Hollow Hope, during Surging Grit, increases break damage. So some break teams there as well you could run. We're going to go with the first one, which will increase our skill and ultimate damage. Okay, and looking up here. Well, my Jingyuan is staring at me to be played with Sunday up here, but I'm going to try and force Anaxa. One of the benefits, of course, is that he will be implanting every weakness. So we might not need to worry about this imaginary enlightening weakness to begin with. So I think we're just going to run with the team that we had there. And we'll use Lorcha as well. And we'll do the same, Empty Air for some skill and ultimate damage. And let's jump on in. Pure Fiction usually doesn't last quite as long, or take quite as long, rather, than Memory of Chaos. So we'll see how much we get out of this. Another nice thing about this team is that we can pop everyone's techniques and no one's fighting for the opening attack. Boom, boom, boom. And here we go. So my Bronya's job is to be very, very quick. As quick as possible. There are quicker Bronyas out there, but with the Ron May's speed buff as well, we're up to 179 speed, which is pretty nice. So she's going to be very quick, and she's going to keep pulling Anaxa up to the front. Like this, and boosting his damage pretty considerably. Then we'll shoot. Otherwise, with Ron May and Lorcha as well, the team is pretty, they're kind of geared more towards SP, skill point positive gameplay, so that I can use up all of my skill points on Bronya and Anaxa every time they come up. Let's use Bronya's cool looking ult, and hopefully we'll this one, so I get a double attack. Although it's not something I figured out when I was doing a showcase. I wonder if we'll get a double even if we hit this guy, because it bounces to one of them. Let's do some testing now. Okay, no double. So that is good to know. The initial targeting needs to hit someone with the star on top of their heads. And we're in Surging Grit now, so we don't need to worry about using up any skill points. And we get some extra damage, I'm pretty sure. So just pop that. A nice big hit there. I might refresh Ron May's buff now, because we don't need to worry about skill points. And then we'll just hit one of these guys. Boom, 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 boom. I love the bouncing, it's so satisfying. And I can pull Anaxa back up with Bronya. Hopefully I get enough energy to use his ult as well, so that we might get another go before this cycle ends. We don't have anyone to hit with a star, unfortunately. Oh, perfect. That's actually one of his traces, I think. When no one has the state where they have 5, I think. I'm still getting used to him. 5 weaknesses, then he gets loads of energy. So we're not going to have to worry about that. We get his ult, and hopefully, because of his 4-piece relic set, he will get boosted back up. Or is he gonna... Not quite, not quite. That's okay, that's okay. Just trying to squeeze out as much as possible. So we'll just go ahead and hit this one. Luckily our Surging Grit has lasted quite a long time, so we can still use all of our skill points without worrying. Okay, that's a pretty nice hit of damage there. Of course, with only one erudition unit, his crit damage is boosted. It's boosted by 150, I think. So that's pretty nice. Go ahead and hit that one. On May next. A bit of waiting until we get another go. We'll use Bronya's ult, considering they hit her enough to give her all of the energy she needs, and now we'll do that. We should get another. Boom. Perfect, perfect, perfect. And here he is again to do it another time. With an ult as well. Boom. I'm really enjoying Anaxa so far. I know that he might do a bit better as a sub DPS for the Herta, but I've been waiting for a wind unit. A wind unit that I enjoy playing. I have Fei Xiao, who I think is really cool, but she's not kind of my go-to playstyle. But I'm really enjoying Anaxa, and so I'd like to use him as a main DPS. Let me know if you have any suggestions for teams, though. I'd always love to hear those. So we'll do that, and follow up with an ult. With an ult. Boom, boom. They've all snuck in just ahead of us. We need Roger to pick up on the healing here. We'll get his field up and running now, so there's not much worry about anyone going down. Especially with the double hits from Anaxa there. the ult as well. This guy's got a lot of HP, the Howling Casket. We're making good progress though, so I don't think we need to worry about running out of cycle time. We're already over half, and I'm pretty sure my premium, the Hertha team is not gonna is gonna be able to pick up any slack. So we'll do some more hits here. Just keep doing this, keep doing this. Luckily this guy is stuck with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all 7 weaknesses. So I keep getting double skills off on him. And we'll do an ult as well. I really enjoy how often Anaxa gets to go in this team, with Bronya boosting him up when he's a bit behind, and his ult boosting him as well because of the 4-piece relics that we have. I'll use that. Boom. And Ranmei's ult as well. Ranmei's ult as well. This guy's got so many debuffs. What are they all? Oh, most of them are weaknesses. That's funny. That's funny. Makes sense though, of course. It would be great if we could run Anaxa with Dr. Ratio in that case. We'd probably be looking at like a double DPS though. Dr. Ratio is belongs to the hunt in terms of his combat. So unless we could fit in another erudition character, which might be difficult, we'd be vying for a lot of skill points and things. But maybe we could just do a double DPS with Anaxa, Dr. Ratio. Oh, look how much damage we took. I didn't even get a go. We should finish them off here though. Okay, so we got all 40,000 points on the first phase, and now for the second half. This shouldn't cause us much trouble. Much trouble at all. The only real difference between like this team and the ones that I've used with the Hertha in Memory of Chaos is I think Jade has a slightly worse line code. But it's okay, it's okay. Now that Hertha's got all of the buffs, let's check her crit rate and crit damage. 86.8 and 270.1% is not too bad at all. We are unfortunately out of skill points though. It was always going to happen with Fu Xuan being slow, but that is okay. Luckily Sunday's ult came in clutch. And we regened a bunch. Pop that there. Gonna get a nice follow-up from Jade. We'll use her ult as well, which boosts her follow-up damage even more. Boom. Okay, and now we can start with an empowered Theurta skill. Let's see how much damage we get from this. Big old hit. And Fu Xuan can just punch them. Back up. Oh, we're almost ready with an ult. And there we are. Anaxa is also great to go with the Hertha because he gets a load of attacks with his double skills and everything. So the Hertha keeps getting loads of energy from him. the start of the third battle. This one's kind of redundant because we've got all the points we need. But we may as well finish it now that we're here. It shouldn't take too long. Shouldn't take too long at all. We'll boost the Urta back up. We'll do Jade's ult. Then a couple attacks with the Urta and we should be good to go. Do that followed by an ult. Straight away to cut in ahead of phew, who as of right now is just here to be a small crit boost. The enemies have not had a great chance to attack, which is good for us, of course. We need to redo that. Oh, and we do get an ult from phew as well. I really like her ult. I think it looks super cool. It kind of reminds me of Anaxa's ult as well, which is cool. Let's just get the Urta in just before the grit buff runs out. There we go. 1%. We'll do a big hit here. Boom. Perfect. A full 8,000 points. That's pretty nice. It's one of the benefits from having a weird obsession with erudition characters. Pure Fiction tends to be not too bad for me, unless it's like a dot, unless it's a dot buff. So we have the final fourth Pure Fiction stage here. Let's take a look and see what's going on. Okay, so I think for now we'll go ahead with the same teams. The second half shouldn't be too much trouble. We did actually fight this Flame Reaver guy in the Memory of Chaos with almost this exact team, apart from phew, and I think we're gonna stick with this first team as well. But I might, if we have trouble with it, I might run a double erudition up here as well with Argenti, who I think would work pretty well here. I think I'm kind of worried about damage though, like when Kafka comes around. She is known for having huge hits randomly. So I wonder if we should swap Lorcha out with Aventurine. I really like Aventurine, but recently, the last couple times I've used him, I found that his shields just didn't hold up. I do have his signature light cone though, and I have him at E1, so he should be pretty good to go. We'll try this. And hope the shielding is enough. We can always swap out if we need to. So we'll pop some techniques. We'll do a bit of gambling with Aventurine. Wow, pouring rain, we get the maximum buff. And get started. So, here we go. The one kind of trouble is that my Aventurine is pretty slow. 147 here. He's a decent bit slower than my Lorcha. So, we're not going to be getting quite as many skill points from him. But that's okay. Hopefully we'll be fine either way. I'm also hoping Anaxa gets punched so that we get his ultimate up. Bumper on May's ult there. Gives us some nice resistance penetration. And I think I'm just gonna hit here. Bronya's shield is a little bit low, but that's okay. Well, there's no point using his ult now. He's right there. He's also just just behind Bronya, which is slightly awkward. That's okay, we should get a couple of really nice big hits in a row here. So we'll do that, and pop the ult. Now we know to target the one with the star in order to get the double. That was a worthy science experiment from the first round. We'll pop that. And it's boosted him all the way back up. Okay. Just target the middle one, why not? Why not? Hit that. Anexa's shield has run out. I'm hoping that a basic hit from Aventurine. Well, just as I was saying that, I remembered we're in Surging Grid, which gives us free skill points, so we may as well top up on shields here. And I'll hit this guy with the highest HP. Okay. And a follow up there from Aventurine, doing a decent chunk of damage. And Bronya's perfectly positioned to boost Anaxa back up, back up, back up. With an ult, with an ult, with an ult, with an ult, with an ult. I think we're doing okay in terms of progress, cycle progress. And we're also doing pretty okay on health as well. No one's taken damage, which is great because we can't actually do any healing. Bring Alexa back. Almost enough for an ult there. Oh, no one has quite enough weaknesses, so we don't get the double skill, but we do get an ult. We do get an ult. And a pretty big hit there. That's quite nice. May as well top up on shields, why not? And we'll do that. With an ult from Ron May as well. Okay. Taking some pretty big hits though. The shield on Anaxa should be pretty big. And here we go. I'll be honest, I'm not entirely sure what the Noontide Griffin does. I'm pretty sure it's like a boss monster in the Amphorius story, but I haven't quite got there yet. We do though get a double skill. Boom, boom, which is nice. You know what, it might not be too bad to run like Dr. Ratio in a team like this. We'd have to either cut Ron May or Bronya. Probably Ron May, just because I know she's really good, but both Anaxa and Dr. Ratio are pretty slow. But Dr. Ratio should be able to melt through the single target with Anaxa and his double skills, taking out everyone else. Could be an option if we have trouble making up the points. Boom, boom. We're back in Surging Grid. Do a hit there and get a couple more bounces off. And two more. I love how many times that happens. With a turn boost like Bronya or Sunday, 4 times in a row is kind of crazy. We almost got 6, but these mini mobs got in before. Should be able to finish this guy off pretty soon though. Bronya's just slightly behind the beginning of the new cycle, so we couldn't quite pull Anaxa up into the previous one. guy's been frozen forever. I'm pretty sure that's the sublimation. I'm not sure if that's the visual for anyone who has the sublimation debuff, or just like a special look that this guy has, but it looks really cool. I'll see if I pay attention the next time it comes up. We'll just make sure to top up on some shields and things. And then pop an Anaxa ult here. Boom. And now we're up against the dreaded Kafka. Stellaron Hunter. Hit them. Our researching, our surging grit has run out, so we're gonna have to be a little bit more careful with the skill points. It does charge up pretty quickly, I'm pretty sure. Oh no, look at that, they all get like star-ified. They get turned into like constellations. That's really cool. That's really cool, and each model has like unique joint, like connection positions. That looks great, I love that. Just do it there. Just enough for an ult from Runmay, which is nice. And I will top up on shields because I'm concerned about how much damage Kafka might be able to pump out. Okay. Oh, a double hit on Runmay. Good job the shield held up. And I'm pretty sure I'm not doing a great amount of damage to this Kafka. They're just tiny little chips. We might be able to make up 3,000 from killing these smaller guys. Maybe. I'm pretty sure my second team will do just fine though, so we might not need to worry about it at all. We'll still try our best this time around. I'm gonna, I think, save his ult for after we get Bronya's damage boost on him. And we'll do that. Yeah, just tiny little hits on Kafka. Okay, we'll pop a skill there. We'll do an aventurine skill as well. We're in the surging grit state, so we don't need to worry about that. And these are the final hits. Bronya's just a little slow with her ult, but that's okay. So, we are on to 27,680 points. Does mean we'll need to get over 3,000. Over 3,000 in this one, but I'm hoping we don't have too many issues. Just start like that. Start like that. Start like that. Okay, the normal opener. We are going to run out of skill points for a second Herta skill though. Again, just because the Herta is quite slow. Fushuan, sorry, is quite slow. But as before, we get a load of free skill points from Sunday's ult. I feel like at this point we've seen this the Herta gameplay so many times. I'm not tired of it though, to be honest. I think she looks so cool, and I love her voice lines and everything, but hopefully you're not getting tired of it. I would love to be in a position where I don't need to where I have like all of the extra resources to gear up like not random, maybe subpar DPSs and things to do like a kind of challenge endgame modes with characters who aren't top of the meta. But I feel like it's a never-ending struggle to get all of the gear I want anyway, just for my good characters. So, for now we're just gonna finish off the fractal ensemble. Now we're up against the blaze out of space. We do have an empowered Herta skill though. Should do a nice big chunk of damage. Boom, boom, boom. So the healing we get is from Fushuen's ult. Of course, Fushuen does provide a lot of damage mitigation, which kind of functions as like theoretical. What's the word? Like effective HP, I think. But it does mean that when we have like chunks of damage like this, it is slightly more awkward to heal them up. We should get a decent bit of healing from this though. Yeah, not too bad. And of course, Jade's skill has a downside of doing a little bit of damage every time the Herta does an attack. So, the Herta is always going to be taking more damage than everyone else just because of that. Fushuen has a nice self-heal though, so she's topped herself all the way back up. I'm pretty sure Fushuen is now available to choose as part of the like 50-50, the failed 50-50 pool. And I think I picked her as one of my characters. I actually lost a 50-50 on Castoris when I was just chucking some summons in, some balls. And I lost to Blade, who I added to my pool as well. So I wasn't too upset. Although I now own an E3 Blade, who isn't very good right now. Of course, with cracked gear, I'm sure he could still do the job, but I also gather that he might be getting a buff soon as well. They're buffing some of the older characters who have kind of fallen behind a bit, with Blade being one of them. I think with the introduction of Mighty and the way that Mighty works in a kind of similar way, but with Mighty doing a much better job, it kind of highlights just how awkward Blade is to use. Especially if you're kind of using him as a sole DPS and tank kind of situation. It would be cool if Blade had a similar mechanic as Mighty, where he can't be killed just because, like, canonically Blade is immortal. So it doesn't make too much sense for him to be able to be killed in a battle. But I'm excited to see what they might do to buff him. And my E3 Blade is going to be sat there waiting, biding his time, ready for when he's meta again. We are doing a pretty good job here though. We've reached our 60k points, so that is great. We now get all of the Stellar Jade. Stellar Jade. So we'll just finish off this game, just for the sake of it. And I think we'll do a couple pulls on Anaxa's Lycone as well, just to see how lucky finishing this. But we'll see. We'll see. Get a nice self-heal there, and we'll do an ult to heal everyone up. I think if it weren't for Jade's kind of self-damage on the Erda, the healing and damage mitigation from Fu Xuan would have been more than enough. More than enough. Okay, we'll do another one of these. We may as well while we have all of the skill points. We don't need to worry about losing them. And we should be able to take him down with a couple more hits from the Erda. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. And boo. And boo. Perfect. So my we'll just review. My main DPS Anaxa wasn't quite up to par with the Erda, but he was never gonna be. It's never gonna be. He does fit a different role. So I think I'll still enjoy using him as a main DPS as much as I can. But I might need to try using him with a couple different people. Let me know if you have any ideas for teams that could be fun to use. I'd be more than happy to try them out. Let's grab this. So we have 800. Pull is 160. So that's what, like 2, 4, 5, 6, maybe 6 pulls. Who knows? We might get lucky. I'll convert them all first. In the stellar trade here, 5. Oh, exactly 5, of course. And let me just quickly check where we are at the pity. Okay, so we're actually a little bit further along than I thought. So I'm hoping I should be able to get this at least by the end of the banner. We're at 31. We're at 31, and this is a guarantee. We unfortunately lost our 75% chance to buy lose light cone. So we'll have to do one at a time though. This is 32. I'll take a 4-star light cone. We must have like 20 copies of that one though. 33. 34. The 4-star luck on this light cone banner has been absolutely incredible. So I guess I can't complain too much. 35. We're looking for that glitchy ticket. 36. Oops. That's all of those, but I think almost. So no luck right now, but the monthly reset is almost here as well. So I'll be able to pick up at least 5 more. 5 more from the shop. And I think we're looking pretty good. I think we're looking pretty good to be able to pick up his light cone as well. Anyway, I have really enjoyed playing Anaxa and trying him out in Pure Fiction and showcasing him and everything. And I hope that you've enjoyed it as well. Hopefully found it relaxing or maybe interesting. And if you're pulling for him, let me know how your Anaxa pulls went. I'd be very interested to find out if you were maybe luckier than I was with the light cone, at least. But anyway, thank you so much for joining me today, and